morning and welcome back to the Sports Show on P&B TV. I'm your host, Arako Tom, and today we are talking about the performance so phenomenal. It literally rewrote the record books of Nigerian and Turkish football. I'm talking about the man of the moment, the Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen. His recent Champions League hat-trick against Ajax in Amsterdam was not just a win for Galatasaray, it was a statement to the entire world. To break down the goals, the records, his incredible journey, and those persistent transfer whispers, I'm honored to welcome a voice of authority in football. Joining us all the way from Benin City, please welcome our esteemed guest, Ero John. Ero John, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you.
Good morning, Tom. It's a pleasure to be in your midst once again. Thank you very much for having me.
It's always a pleasure, always a pleasure. Well, we've seen what our brother Victor Osimhen has done. It seems like he keeps breaking records. He breaks records wherever he goes. He breaks records at Napoli, decided to break record at Galatasaray. And looking at his journey, what do you think about this player and what he has done so far?
Okay, everyone that knows me knows how much of a big fan I am of Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen is a wonderful player, is exceptional. One thing I like Victor Osimhen for particularly is his passion for the game. You see it written all over him. You see it in the way he plays, when he's on the ball, when he's off the ball, his charisma, his leadership quality. Even when he's not captaining the team, he's not the captain, you see how he tries to bring the players together, not just in the club side, but also in the national team. He does these things effortlessly. He does them effortlessly. We saw it in the last World Cup qualifying series, what he did. He's a great player. He's exceptional. He's a good one. I'm particularly happy for him because, they say to whom much is given, much is expected. We saw the show of love from the Galatasaray fans and Turkey in general when he first went there on loan last season, and then when they eventually signed him. We saw the ground welcome he was given. He was given a royal welcome. We saw how well he meant to the Galatasaray fans and the people of Turkey. So delivering these performances back to back and giving them hope, giving them hope, making them see the worth of their love for him is something I'm particularly happy about. I mean, imagining if he were flopping, what would have been said? And this gives more reasons for the fans to love him. So I'm happy for Osimhen. Osimhen is a great player. I see it as his hard work paying off. I see this as his hard work paying off because he gives so much on the pitch. He gives so much. So I see it as his hard work paying off. And I'm particularly happy for him, yeah. Okay,
so talking about hard work and performances, we saw a header where he from an assist from Leroy Sané, and we also saw two penalties from the second half. But in your own opinion, which goal actually showed his prowess, his attacking prowess, and his speed? Because it seems like anytime he was in that 18 box, he was a menace on that pitch. So what is your opinion? Which goal really struck you from the beginning?
I'll go with the first goal because the other two goals were penalties. I'm going with the first goal because if you watch that goal, Victor Osimhen did what Victor Osimhen does, what we know Victor Osimhen to do. It wasn't just any kind of header. First off, the cross from Leroy Sané was exceptional. It was a great cross. It was a good one. It found the player right where he was. We saw the effort he put into putting that to the goalpost, trying to beat the defender, having to reduce his height to make sure the header goes in, and that was exceptional.
I think one thing that shocked me was watching it closely. I feel that header could have easily been an offside. Watching it very closely, but exactly. What amazed me was how he stayed onside and how he maintained his footing close to the goalpost, which was an amazing feat. But moving forward, we saw that he was given the Player of the Match award. because of the hat trick and everything that he had achieved in that match. But we could also see that he was very, very pacey in that match, and that's something that we've seen over time. But also, when you look at it from another angle, you are like, apart from Osimhen being able to score goals, there are other things that he does on the pitch that actually helps his teammates on and off the pitch. It seems like you've said earlier, that he's a leader. But there are other things that he does also on the pitch that makes people say, oh, this guy is a great player. In your own opinion, what do you think are these things that he does off the pitch that actually makes him a fantastic player?
Okay, I'll start with this. Like you have rightly said, off the ball, he knows how to link up play with the midfield and the attack. And that's one thing so many attackers these days do not have. They are so traditional that they are always in the opponent's 18-yard box just waiting for the ball. Osimhen is the kind of player that can hustle. Let's say, for instance, the ball is not coming to him. He can drop deep. He can drop as far as dropping to the midfield to win the ball. He tries to defend. You see, when there's always a corner kick against Galatasaray, he's always in the box. He tries to defend. When his team is off the ball, he tries to pull back to defend. He tries to help the midfield. That's a good link-up one from him. And because of his strength and pace, we have watched him so many times start counter-attack and go on to score the goal. It takes an incredible level of strength to be able to do that, to start the counter-attack, and then you go on to be the last man to put the ball at the back of the net. That's a good one for him, and he knows how to draw defenders to himself. As a matter of fact, Osimhen's presence alone is already a threat. And so sometimes when he's not even on the ball, he knows how to draw these players to himself and open up space for other players to attack and advance. And that's a good one for him also. And like I rightly said before, he has some great leadership qualities. I can remember vividly our World Cup qualifying match against before the match against Benin. I'm trying to remember who played against before Benin, when we drew the match and took 1-1. At the end of the game, when even the opponents, they were leaving the pitch, he gathered the players together. He was not the captain, and we could see clearly that he was trying to talk them. He was trying to talk to them, and that's the psychological part of football. I think he was trying to encourage them. We saw his anger. He was trying to let them know that we could have done better. I could not read his lips completely, but from his gestures, you can tell that this is what he was trying to do. I believe he has these qualities even down to the dressing room. He can bring the players together. He has this passion. He has this belief in himself and the team. And we see it play out not just on paper. I remember the last AFCON when we were to play, I think, South Africa. If I remember vividly, we were to play South Africa. He was interviewed and he was asked questions. People were expecting him to make so much noise. They were expecting him to lay down so much respect. And he said just one thing. He said, football, we don't do the talking orally. We do the talking on the pitch. That's what he said. Yes, he said we do the talking on the pitch. And guess what? Nigeria went on to win that game. So you say that's such a player. He does not just talk. He gives his all. He gives his all to the team, and these are some qualities that he has that I like in particular about him.
And talking about giving his all, we saw him at Italy, we saw him at Napoli when it seemed like he gave his all to Napoli, and people were saying this guy, it's because of the league he's playing in, it's because of where he's playing, he feels so comfortable. Then he was sent on loan to Galatasaray as well before he was signed. But before then, we saw a lot of rumors, people saying that he was supposed to go to Saudi to play football, but as some people said he should go for the money and not, and he said no, he has a career, he wants to focus on his career, the money will come, and he seeks for advice from different people. And looking at this type of player, you can see the kind of quality, the type of grit, the type of person he is, and the persona that he has. But looking at it, how do you manage, or how do you view his development from being in Napoli and now moving to Galatasaray?
Okay, I think his development over time, from his days from Napoli to Galatasaray, is commendable. He's one to actually speak good about. it's remarkable. It shows that this is a young man who is willing to learn. His last days at Napoli were not so good. It didn't end so well for him at Napoli. His last days at Napoli were not so good.
But if you can remember, at some point in Napoli, he was like the god of football in Napoli as well. So it just tells you how the business of football and how it goes.
Exactly. Especially in Napoli's title-winning campaign, he was instrumental. He scored the most goals for them that season. He was instrumental to them winning the league again after so many years. So his development over time is one that I particularly like. I remember one time at Napoli where he fell out of love with the club. He fell out with the club. I think the Napoli social media admin, they posted something as against him on their socials. We saw how Nigerians and people all over the world stood up for him to the point that the tweet was deleted almost immediately because people raised war against it. And then going down to Galatasaray, he did not let that affect him. He did not let that have a great toll on him. And almost immediately at Galatasaray, he set the ball rolling. He started doing wonders. He started leaving his mark to the point where even the Galatasaray fans were clamoring that he should be signed on a permanent deal. So that tells you a lot about his kind of person, his kind of player. He has settled well in at Turkey. He's doing well. Life is going so well for him over there. He's still giving his all. He's not considering the fact that, oh, this is that. He's still playing. We see him in games. He gives his all. He tries to make sure that the team wins. But when you see players that, when they are losing and they are angry, that team is losing, they're angry. Those are serious-minded footballers, not the likes of Madueke when he was at Chelsea. They play football they think football is entertainment. I'm being serious. You see him laughing. You see the attitude they give some of them. I don't want to start mentioning some names.
Very lackadaisical attitude.
Very lackadaisical. You begin to wonder: Are you an agent of darkness? They even miss clear-cut practice, and all they do is they give you a thumbs up. They are shining their teeth. Football is not no. You're giving your all to this game, giving your all, and that's what Osimhen does. I believe these are the things that makes his development quick. That makes it quick. As we speak, presently, he is the highest goal scorer in the Champions League so far. In a competition, the likes of Mbappe, the likes of Haaland, they are playing in. It tells you a lot about his nature. It tells you a lot about his playing abilities and his personality overall.
But talking about being the highest goal scorer in the Champions League, it seems like he has broken the Nigerian European record, having had 25 goals, if I'm correct, above Obafemi Martins' 23 goals. But looking at this, what does it say about his striking record? What does it say about his grit and the way he plays football? Because you've also said he's not one to play with style. He's one to get that ball to the net. So what does it say about his strike rate, and what does this also say about the way he plays, comparing these records? Because you can also say football of then is not the football of now. Football develops daily. It's an evolution. So what do you think about his strike rate so far?
Okay, I think his strike rate has improved greatly, and that's why we say that he is breaking these records. It has improved greatly. I'll tell you why. From his early days at even before he got to Napoli, from his early days, and when I watched him, because I really, really watched him at Napoli, there were days where, before now, Victor Osimhen is the kind of striker that he has the strength, he has the pace, he has the ability, but his finishing was quite poor. It was not as good as this from his early days. I remember back then, in a match, he can get 5 clear-cut chances, and he will be able to convert to just one. He will miss the remaining. That one that he will convert to be a header. He will miss the others. Clear-cut chances, I mean. Then I was thinking, what kind of player? Why are you always in a hurry? Yes, that was what I was always saying. Why are you always in a hurry? Why are you always in? He needed fine-tuning. And I think steady game time helped him with that at Napoli, coupled with his own strength, his own ability, his own willingness to learn. But now, is much better. As a matter of fact, the Victor Osimhen that we have now, if you give him 5 clear-cut chances are that he will score 4 of those 5. And the one that he will miss will be something that, okay, it was beyond his powers. That's how good he is now. I just told you before now that his presence alone in the team, on the pitch, it already puts a great level of fear in the opposing team. Because there are high chances that he will score, he will bully your players, he will run, he will try to dribble, he will make passes, he will create chances, he will drop players from himself. So his striking ability has improved greatly from my own analysis. Like I said, maybe having just to score 1 out of 5 clear cuts, now I can boldly tell you that Osimhen will score 3 to 4 if given 5 clear-cut chances. That says a lot about him. The first goal he scored for Galatasaray against Ajax in their last Champions League game, not all strikers will score that. Like you rightly said, not all players will even find the way to be onside. Talk more of trying to put that ball at the back of the net. Some players say, oh, the cross too high. They will leave it. But then he goes on. We've seen him score even more dangerous goals than that. I've seen him score dangerous goals than that. So his rate, his work rate, his strike rate has greatly improved over time. And I think this was largely influenced by so much game time. You know, there's one thing that football does. When you are playing regularly, you are fine-tuning yourself. When
there's always an improvement in every match.
Yes, so that's what has helped him, and I believe that he still has a long way to go. He still has some improvement to make on himself, and we'll see him do that and do well.
But talking about records, we can also see that he's the first Galatasaray player to have a brace hat-trick also as well in the UEFA Champions League. What does this say about Nigerian talent? Because it seems like we have a lot of talent, but looking at it, it also seems like our home-based players do not have as much talent, and they have to travel out to get the fine-tuning. So what do you think about the talents that we have in Nigeria, and how do you think that a player like Victor Osimhen has shown Nigerians that, oh, this is something you can do? Because how can he be the first player to have an hat-trick for Galatasaray in the UEFA Champions League? Don't you think it says a lot?
I agree with you, Tom. It says a whole lot. As a matter of fact, it says a big lot, if there's a word like that. It says a lot, yes, about us as a nation, as a footballing nation, about our kind of players. You see, one thing that I realized about our Nigerian players, no offense, is the fact that so many of them, they have a lackadaisical attitude. So many of them, I'm not even joking. So many of them. We have the talent, good and fine. We have so much talent here back in Nigeria. Those that play for the international scene, we have a lot of talent. But do these talents have discipline? Are they willing to work on them? And another thing that I believe largely affects us is, although that is changing now, you see, racism has always been a strong factor. Racism has always been a strong factor. There was a time that it is only the likes of Jose Mourinho that were known for signing black players, that was known for using black players.
Yes.
The likes of Pep, they were actual racists. They were very good racists. The moment you are African, more so Nigerian, you don't have a place, no matter how good you are. You understand? No matter how good you are, you don't have a place in such things. So I believe this also affected us as a nation. This also affected us because we had so many.
Sorry to cut you short. I looked at it and I'm like, we've had Hakan Suko, we've had Didier Drogba, we've had these people play for these teams, and I'm like, if these people have played for these teams and they've not been able to achieve this, then we have a player like Victor Osimhen, a player that was in Napoli and people tried to water down and say, he's the new kid on the block, don't worry, if he goes to other places, he won't be able to perform as well. Then all of a sudden, he gets to Galatasaray and he performs. Left to me, it says a lot about his talent. Sorry to cut you short, you can continue.
Yes, I agree with you. I was coming to that. Like I was saying, apart from racism was a factor, The fact that we had talent, we had players who were not willing to put in so much work was a factor. And then we have the Victor Osimhen, who is willing and ready. I will continue to emphasize on his willingness. I will continue to emphasize on his determination, his passion. You can see it written all over him. You can see it written all over him. From the first minute to the 90th minute, you see it. It's glaring on him. Now, this guy is willing. This guy is ready. This guy wants this thing. And more than anybody else. And you know, there's something I always tell you, that football is a game of who wants it more. You see, and this has helped him evolve. This has helped him over time. His willingness, his passion, then his talent. Talent plays a huge role, but then hard work plays a better role. Because when you are talented and you don't put in the work, I bet you to take you nowhere.
Like a coach I know says, he says talent, he said hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. But that brings me to my next question. The last time a Nigerian had an hat trick in the UEFA Champions League was in 2002, and my God, this is 2025, which was Yakubu Ayegbeni. He had that in 2002. But why is it that it's taking this long for a Nigerian player to secure an hat trick in the UEFA Champions League? Because it seems like we have a lot of superstars in the UEFA Champions League, but in the past 20-something years or 23 years, we've not been able to achieve this feat. But our own dear Victor Osimhen has finally been able to achieve this feat. What does this say about Nigerian footballers? You've already said it. You said that that he wants it more. But also we have home-based players. These players are looking up to players outside the country. What does this say about our Nigerian football in general?
Okay. This is a remarkable achievement by Victor Osimhen, no doubt.
2002.
It's 2002. That's I think we're talking about 23 years ago.
Yes.
Now, we will now ask ourselves, Tom, for these past 23 years, how many of our Nigerian players have been star men, not just playing for big teams, have been star men, star strikers for their teams? How many of them?
Yeah, not a lot. We even have one in the US who is playing right now. He plays for the Super Eagles, and I heard that he's also having issues with his coach as well. So it says a lot.
So there are not so many of them that have been star men for their teams. It is, as a matter of fact, as we speak, it is even now that we are getting to see more of our players being instrumental in their club side. It is even now that we are getting to see these things. More of our players being instrumental in their club side. Before now, it's not that we didn't have them before now. There were not so many goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, attackers. It is in recent years, let me say the past 5, 6, 7 years, that we are beginning to see, oh yes, we have this Nigerian player, he's very instrumental for his club side. As a matter of fact, the club are not even willing to release him to represent Nigeria, maybe at AFCON or at any other competition. Before now, when it's time to release players, they even release our players first, because they offer little or nothing. They're doing little or nothing. And then the racism factor. But now we are getting to see, at the time, Leicester, they were refusing to release Wilfred Ndidi to Nigeria. We see the likes of Kevin Bassey now is instrumental for Fulham. Iwobi is instrumental for Fulham. We now have a whole lot of players. Tolu is very good at works. We now have a lot of players who, at their club side, they play a major role. They play a huge role for their club side. So I believe this is one of the things that affected things like this. We didn't have so many players who were very, very. We just had players that were spread all over big clubs. But what were they doing? Some of them were even struggling to get game time. How many matches did Kelechi Iheanacho play for Manchester City? You understand? Yes. So you begin to ask yourself these questions, and it begins to give you the answers that you require. when you begin to ask yourself these questions.
But talking about the value of our players, we can also see that we have teams like Arsenal, we have teams like Chelsea, we have teams like Man U, teams that have rich history. They are saying, see, we need this guy, we need this man called Victor Osimhen on our team. We can also see that even the Saudi side, they are saying that yes, we still need this man. Yes, we've also seen that we've not had him. That we lost him before, but we still need this man on our team. But it seems like Galatasaray, they are putting a heavy amount on him. You are even hearing they are saying 100 million euros they are putting on him. So what do you think? Do you think he's worth the value of this money? I think that's my last question. So in 1 minute, just tell me what you think.
Tom, let me quickly tell you this. You see, these teams, I don't want to call them useless. Especially these Premier League teams. Victor Osimhen was on the market for a long time, even before Galatasaray signed him on a permanent deal. I think many clubs had a problem with his salary. Now, I don't have issues with the fact that you have a problem with his salary. But then, because I think his price tag was 70 to 75 million placed on him by Napoli, you have a problem with his salary. And I can tell you for a fact that you're only having a problem with his salary because he's a black man. Now, let me answer your question. You are 100 million price tag for Victor Osimhen in the present transfer market. I will say it's too small. I will tell you why. If Manchester United can send a Benjamin Sesko that has just 9 league goals in the Slovenia league, 9 goals for 80 million, why then can you not send Osimhen that has registered double goals in his past 3 to 4 seasons? If you can sign a Victor Gyökeres for how much, why can you not sign Osimhen for that amount? If Chelsea can go and sign a Joao Pedro that struggled to register 10 to 12 goals for 60 million, why can you not sign Osimhen for 100? A player that played in the last AFCON final, a player that has won back-to-back league titles. He won the league with Napoli. He went to Galatasaray on loan. He won the league. He won the highest goal scorer. He has shattered Galatasaray's goal record. As a matter of fact, the records are there. Let's not start calling records because of time. So, I don't see the price tag. If Galatasaray decides to put 150 million, I'll be happy with them. Because they went through, yes, I'm telling you the truth. Let them make money from him. Because when other teams failed, they did what other teams failed to do.
They took a big risk.
Osimhen was on the market for a long time. Yes. Even before Arsenal signed Gyökeres, Osimhen was in the market. Before Man U signed Sesko, Osimhen was in the market. Before Chelsea signed Dilap and Joao Pedro, Osimhen was in the market. These teams did not sign. And in quotes, they are having problems with paying his salary. But guess how much they are paying the players they signed? And so, if Galatasaray decides tomorrow that Osimhen's price tag is 150 million, I support it.
And I think P&B TV and P&B Sports Show, we support it as well. But lastly, we looked at Osimhen. Like you said, he has recorded double digits so far, back to back, and it seems like this is the question people are asking: is Osimhen ripe enough for this Ballon d'Or? That's what people are saying. And people are also looking at the international stage. Is the international stage going to be a setback for Osimhen in the next Ballon d'Or? Or is it too early to talk about the Ballon d'Or for Victor Osimhen right now?
If you can put Lamine Yamal, who won just La Liga and had just 9 goals in the season, if you can put him in the Ballon d'Or topic, I don't see any reason why Victor Osimhen cannot be there. You see, this is the problem I have with us Africans. The way the Ballon d'Or is now, I was telling, okay, I told it was Mr. Sonny I told, that now Ballon d'Or is now a matter of who has the highest PRO. I'm telling you the truth. I don't think they go by tallies and statistics anymore. Because if they do, the likes of Lorato Martinez ought to have won the Ballon d'Or by now. So I think right now it is a matter of go and hire publicity team. If you score 1 goal, let them spread it across social media. We tell every cartoon. I'm telling you the truth. Because I kept wondering, what has Lamine Yamal done to put him in the Ballon d'Or topic? When there was a Rafinha that had more better statistics. But Lamine Yamal was pushed. It is PRO. It is PRO. I'll tell you the truth. It is PRO. So if Lamine Yamal that had 9 goals can be in the top 3 of the Ballon d'Or, please, Victor Osimhen is overripe to be in the Ballon d'Or topic.
Okay. So, like you said, Victor Osimhen is ripe enough to be in the Ballon d'Or topic. Well, Oyo John, thank you so much for your incredible insights and analysis on Victor Osimhen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for always accepting us. It's clear that Victor Osimhen is not just a striker enjoying a purple patch. He's a player operating on an all-time great level, breaking records every time he steps onto the European stage. From the historic header to smashing all-time Nigerian European scoring record, Victor Osimhen's story continues to be one of relentless journey of the African footballer. Be it continues to dominate in the Turkey, or if he will finally land in somewhere else, well, that's something that we also need to look at. Well, that's all we have for this morning on the Sports Show on P&B TV. A big thank you to our guest, Erojon, once again, and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. I'm Aaron Kotom. Until next time, keep the passion for the beautiful game alive. Thank you.